Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Chris. Um, this is actually our second match here on Scarlet and Violet, and so the first one was a little bit ago here. Um, this is actually a player who is in the draft league that we are in as well here, and so we actually did not play in the regular season of the draft. He's actually a coach that was in direct competition for a playoff spot with us, actually ended the regular season of the draft with the same record as us, and there is still a chance that we could play him in the playoffs, depending on if we win our games or not. So very strong, very experienced competitive battler here. So, yeah, we're just going to wait for him here to make his selection, and then we will see what happens. So you will see in a second here as well that I am using the same team that I've been using in the past couple of games here. And so we'll see what he brought to battle. We did agree to a little bit of a mixed tier game here, so we'll go ahead and see in a second here what he decided to bring along. As he is still making his selection, there we go. Alright, so, yeah, as I mentioned, my team there, same one that we've been using the past couple games. His team there looks to be pretty strong, pretty interesting looking, actually. So yeah, what do I want to lead with here in this one? That is the question. What do we want to lead with? He definitely has a couple of solid lead options here. I think... How do we want to play this? You know what? I think we're actually just going to go with the Regidrago in this one. And we'll see how that works out. Definitely has a pretty strong, pretty interesting looking team there, which should make for a good game, hopefully. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. So there he is, and he's going to go ahead and lead with the Electrode, as we led with the Regidrago. So, Hisuian Electrode, I should say. So, this is actually not bad for us at all. Now, he more than likely could be going for the pivot here, might just go into the Corviknight, possibly, as that's actually his only Pokemon that has either a resistance or an immunity to a dragon attack. So I think we're actually just going to go ahead and try to fire off a big dragon energy here and see what he wants to do, as he is indeed going to Volt Switch, and it doesn't do too much damage to us, a little bit of chip, and it does give him the pivot, obviously, so we'll see what he wants to bring in here. As I said, he really only has one optimal switch to the Regidrago, which is kind of why I decided to lead with it. And even so, we should be getting some big damage on something, hopefully. So there's the Corviknight, as kind of expected. So we are going to go for the Dragon Energy here. We are max special attack, and that doesn't do quite as much damage as I would have liked to see. It still does some good damage, as he does get some HP back with the, or I should say we get some HP back with the leftovers. So it's not quite a two-shot, unfortunately. So I think what we're going to do in this situation is we're just going to go for the switch. We don't have the best of switches to Corviknight on this team, but I think we're just going to go into the Dondozo to try and take whatever attack he goes for and see where that gets us. So unfortunately, if that Dragon Energy was a two-shot, I'd want to stay in, but it is not, as he actually goes for the switch himself, which is interesting. perhaps predicting the switch on our side. He's going to go into the Arbolova, so looks like he may well have predicted that switch. So that is unfortunate for us. So we definitely can't stay in on this matchup, as our special defense is not very good, obviously, with the Dondozo. So we have a couple of options as to what we want to switch in here. I feel like Bisharp's probably the safest switch, so we're just going to go with that, although he does have, this thing does potentially get coverage for Bisharp, but even so, we'll just have to kind of see where this goes. So he unfortunately does go for the Earth Power, predicting a switch. He actually takes us out with a critical hit, which is super unfortunate. So Bisharp goes down there and knocks us down to 5, so that is very unlucky for us. We were Eviolite max HP, so I think if not for that crit, we definitely survived that attack. So that is super unfortunate that we have to lose Bisharp like that and go down to 5. And then he takes some Life Orb recoil, which is something, as now we're going to come in with the Sneasler. And so, yeah, I feel like he probably doesn't stay in on this matchup, so I think our best course of action is just to go ahead and U-turn, so that's what we're going to do. We are Choice Band max attack on this thing, so should do some decent damage, hopefully, to whatever he decides to let take this attack here, as he's actually going to go ahead and break out his Terra, so that's interesting. What type is he going to be? He's going to Terrastallize into a Fairy type. Okay, so that is an awfully risky play on his side there, but he does do it. We go for the U-turn, does get some chip damage on that thing, which is nice. We get the Poison Touch to poison this thing as well, which is also nice. I'm going to activate the Seed Sower, obviously, to set the grassy terrain on the battlefield, which is not great, but just kind of is what it is. And so I think, how do we want to play this? How do we want to play this? I feel like we go into the Me Sprite. I think that's probably the best idea in this situation, so that's what we're going to do. So there it is, and he goes for a Strength Sap, which is pretty unfortunate, which is probably going to heal him. It does cut our attack, which doesn't really matter since we're a special set, but it does heal him back up to basically full. He's going to take some damage from the poison, which is nice. So let's see, how do we want to handle this? I don't know if I want to start to set up with Mesprit or not. I kind of want to, just because I know I don't think there's a ton this thing can do. He might be switching here. So we're just going to go for the Calm Mind here. As he stays in, we go Calm Mind, which is nice. So that's going to go ahead and give us a special attack and special defense increase, as he is going to go for a Giga Drain, which is going to do some pretty solid chip damage to us, actually, and also regain some HP for him as well. But we do take that a little bit better, thanks to the special defense increase, as we are going to get some HP back from the leftovers as well. And he is going to get some HP back with the grassy terrain and then take some damage from the poison. So I feel like we could definitely afford to go for the second Calm Mind here, so that's exactly what we're going to do, as he does go for the switch, and I think at this point we're going to end up being all in with the Mesprit, so he's going to go ahead and come in with the Reindeer, as that thing's going to get an Intimidate to lower our attack, not really going to matter. We go for the second Calm Mind to get another special attack and special defense increase, which is nice. And then, yeah, we're going to regain some more HP with the leftovers. So I think our best course of action now is, we are at +2 special attack, special defense. Not sure if that's going to be enough to go ahead and take this thing out or not. But even so, I think we're just going to go ahead and go for the Ice Beam here. We could Terrastallize, actually, although I don't know if I really want to go all in on the Mesprit or not, especially since he's probably just going to hit us with neutral anyway. So we're just going to go Ice Beam on this thing and see what he wants to do. And so, yeah, he's thinking about this one. At +2, we are max special attack, so we might actually be able to get the kill. He actually goes for a Calm Mind of his own, which is interesting. So he's trying to initiate the old Calm Mind war with us, which is not great. We go for the Ice Beam here at +2. It's effectively +1, which does take this thing down by almost half, but not quite, which does kind of suck. And then we get some HP back with the leftovers as... I think we probably just continue to go on the offense here. That's probably our best course of action. We know another one's not enough to take him out, so we could just go for the Mystical Power to get that special attack raise, although I don't really want to risk missing. But this is kind of a difficult decision, actually. I kind of do want to get that special attack raise with the Mystical Power, so you know what, we know another one's not enough to take him out, so let's just go for it and see what he wants to do. He goes for another Calm Mind, which is unfortunate, which is going to increase his special attack, special defense even farther, so he's trying to set up to do something big here. We go for the Mystical Power. It's effectively neutral, does some good damage, good chip, and it gives us the special attack increase, which is nice, as he gets some HP back with the leftovers, and we also get HP back with the leftovers. So I'm really not too sure what he could be packing as the grassy terrain goes away, which is good. I'm not super sure what move he could be packing here for us, but either way, I think we probably just Ice Beam this thing again. That's our best bet, so that's what we're going to do. He goes for a Stored Power here. Does virtually nothing to us, which is perfect. We go for an Ice Beam at +3. It's not quite enough to grab the kill on this thing, which is really unfortunate. But we do get some more HP back with the leftovers. So, could he be, the question here is, could he be a rest set? That I don't know. It's really unfortunate. We just barely missed the KO with the Ice Beam there. I don't want to risk missing the Mystical Power, so I feel like we just Ice Beam again here as he goes for another Stored Power. That is going to do more chip damage to us, but we do take it with about half health remaining, go for the Ice Beam, take out the Reindeer, and knock him down to 5. So that is good for us. We got that thing out of the way, and Meesprit is going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So now we're in an interesting situation because we're sitting at +3 special attack, +2 special defense with this thing, which is great. He's going to come in with the Bombardier, kind of as expected. Now, we're in an interesting situation because obviously these things are usually physical. If we Terra losing our weakness to Dark, we could definitely, I think, take an attack from this thing. I don't know if we want to spend our Terra on that or not, but I actually do kind of want to. Based on what he's got left, I don't know if we really need Terra for anything else. So yeah, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to go all in on the Meesprit again. Terrastalize to an Electric type. Try to take him out with a Thunderbolt. Let's go for it and see what we can make happen here. I'd feel a little more comfortable with this if we were at a little higher HP, but yeah, we're going to do it anyway and see what happens. So we're going to Terrastalize to an Electric type, losing all of our weaknesses, having no weaknesses now thanks to having Levitate. He does outspeed us and actually go for a Rock Blast, which is interesting. How many times is he going to hit? 2, 3. Hopefully he doesn't get all of them, but it looks like he actually is for 4 times. Okay, so he does miss the KO. He could be loaded dice, actually, which would be pretty interesting. We go for the Thunderbolt here and take the Bombardier out in one shot, knocking him down to 4. So that's good. That is a little unfortunate for us because we did kind of effectively waste our Terra there with the Meesprit fearing the Dark move. So that's a little unfortunate, but obviously hindsight 2020 here. But Meesprit is doing some work to his team, which is really nice. So now he does come in with the Electrode, unfortunately, and so in this situation, we are at +2 special defense, but even so, I don't think there's any way we take an attack from this thing. But at the same time, I don't really feel like it's worth switching, so we're just going to go ahead and click Ice Beam here and see what happens as he goes for a Leaf Storm, and that definitely takes us out from that range. So that is unfortunate. He does get a harsh special attack drop, which is nice, but that does take our Meesprit out and knock us down to 4. So I think the play definitely here is to come in with Sneasler, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So there it is. And so there's no reason for us to not just U-turn here because he has a lot of switches potentially out, or he definitely has at least one potential switch. So we're just going to U-turn as he does indeed switch. Kind of figured he would. And he's going to switch into the Corviknight, kind of figured he would. So that thing's coming in as we go for the U-turn here. Not going to do much of anything to it, unfortunately. We do take Rocky Helmet damage, which is unfortunate, but we do get to pivot out, which is exactly what we need here. And I think we need to pivot directly into the Electrode, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Bring in the Hisuian Electrode of our own here. And so I think there's no reason for us to not just go ahead and go for a Choice Specs Volt Switch. So that's exactly what we're going to do, as he does go for the switch once again, and he's going to switch directly into the Hisuian Electrode of his own. So there that is. And we go for the Volt Switch, which is going to do not much of anything to this thing, unfortunately. But we do get the pivot, which is nice, and that gives us free reign to come in with the Regidrago once again for sure. So trying to keep the momentum on our side here. Going to come in with the Regidrago, and we are going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So we know there's not much of anything this thing can do to us. He probably would just pivot out again, I think. So knowing that, I think our best play here is just to go for a Dragon Energy, so that's exactly what we're going to do. He does indeed Volt Switch. Going to do some chip damage to us, though not too much of anything. And, of course, that is going to pivot him out. And he could very well be coming in with the Corviknight again. That really is his only safe switch to the Regidrago. As actually he comes... Oh, no, I forgot. He teared the Arbolova, so never mind. Scratch that. So we go for the Dragon Energy, and it doesn't hurt the Arbolova, obviously. So that's unfortunate. He does get a free switch into the Arbolova, but not a lot we can do about that. We do regain some HP from the leftovers, and that thing takes some damage from the poison. So Regidrago does look pretty useful for most of the rest of his team here. It stops the Electrode cold. So I think we want to try and keep it as healthy as possible. I think our best switch to this thing is probably going to be the Electrode. So we're just going to come in with that. We might have to take a big shot or lose Electrode potentially, but that just kind of is what it is. At this point in the game, there's not much we can do about that. So I'm going to come in with our Electrode as he goes for a Terra Blast Fairy. He's got that on deck, so good thing we got out of there. So that thing is going to Terra Blast us, and we do take it, fortunately. We have 33 HP left, but we do take one, which is nice, and then he takes some damage from the poison. So I think he probably doesn't stay in here more than likely. Probably switches to his own Electrode, but even so, I don't really want to take that chance here. A Choice Specs Volt Switch, I don't know if it'd be enough to take him out or not. It's going to kind of be a difficult decision for us, but I feel like we probably just... How do we want to play this? We can't... If he stays in and we don't pivot, and we pivot and he doesn't... We don't take him out, that's a problem. But even so, I feel like he probably doesn't stay in, so we just go Choice Specs Volt Switch. He does in fact switch, so kind of figured he would. And so he does switch back to the Electrode. So round in circles we go here as that thing comes in. And we do go for the Volt Switch here, which is going to do more chip damage to this thing, which is nice. And then we do get the pivot out. So I feel like we just go right back into Regidrago against this thing every time. Now that he's Terra'd with something else, we know that this thing can't like surprise Terra on us and take us out. So we're going to continue to play this game. The only positive thing here is that I think this time around, knowing that he's got the switch, I think this is a risk because he's got the Corviknight, but I think we just Earth Power this time. I think that's the play. As he actually stays in and goes Discharge, which is interesting. Does some chip damage. We go for the Earth Power in return. It's not quite enough to take him out, unfortunately, but we do get some HP back with the leftovers. So now the question becomes, what does he want to do? Now that he's seen the Earth Power, what does he want to do? He could very well be Choice with this Electrode as well, but at the low range our Electrode's at, I don't think it can take an attack. So I think our best play here... Oof. What do we do? I think our best play is probably Terra Blast at this point, just a standard Terra Blast. So that's what we're going to do. He actually does go for the switch. So what does he switch into here? Is it going to be... It is going to be the Corviknight this time. Okay, so that thing's coming back in. So it's a good thing we went for the Terra Blast, because at least we get some chip on this thing. It does knock him down below half, which is nice. And then we do get some HP back with the leftovers. I'm not sure, actually, who outspeeds who in this situation. I feel like we need Regidrago, though, so this is going to be a tough decision. Time is not on our side, either. I feel like we go for the Draco. This is a tough call. Tough call, tough call, tough call. Tough call. Let's Dragon Energy and see if it's enough to take him out. We outspeed Dragon Energy incoming. It's not enough. It is not quite enough to take this thing out as he roosts. So that's super unfortunate. He roosts back up, so that's really unfortunate as we regain some HP with the leftovers. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I think we... Do we go Sneasler here, expecting another Roost? This is unfortunate. I think we have to go Dondozo. I think that's our play. So yeah, I think we have to switch back to Dondozo. He probably just Roosts again. I mean, he could U-turn. But yeah, really unfortunate that we missed the KO there, as he goes for a Body Press, which is going to do virtually nothing to the Dondozo, which is nice. And then we get some HP back with the leftovers. So... he probably doesn't stay in on this matchup. The question is, what would he switch in on the Dondozo? It could be... I doubt it's the Electrode, although maybe it's the Electrode. I feel like we just go for the Avalanche here. That's probably our safest play. So yeah, we just go Avalanche here, as he does switch. Hopefully we could catch the Electrode. That would be nice. And he switches in the Arboleva. Okay, so that thing's coming in. We go for the Avalanche. Is it going to be enough to take this thing out? Not even close, unfortunately, as it's going to activate Seed Sower. So that sucks. That sucks. So he does get some HP back. We get some HP back, and then we get the rest of our HP back. So that's unfortunate. Super unfortunate. So he's going to also take some damage. Yeah, so we only have seconds left in the game, unfortunately, here. I think I would, under normal circumstances, I would say our best play is to just switch into the Electrode to sack it off. But because time is up, essentially, that's not going to help us. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. Time's up here. I guess we just... I mean, honestly, the play would be, if the time wasn't up, I guess the play would be to sack the Electrode off here. So I guess, yeah, that would be the play that we would do here. Yeah, so time's up, and that's game. So it looks like we actually take a technicality win there. Looks like 4-4 the score was at the end. So we're going to win the game 4-4 against Chris on a technicality, just because the timer is up. That is fine, but kind of unfortunate too, as there was definitely quite a bit left of that game to play. So we're going to go ahead and quit. And so, yeah, unfortunately, for the third game in the row, for us, the timer is coming back into play, so that does really suck. But it just kind of is what it is. That is the nature of this 20-minute timer. It is just absolutely god-awful. And then, you know, we have more and more games every day to showcase that. But that was still a really good match nonetheless, highly competitive. And so, yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Our first game that we had ended in similar fashion, although ended, I believe, with him getting the tied technicality victory at the timer over us. So we got one back on him here, I suppose, which is something. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching it, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and/or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.